Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while since I've updated, and there's an explanation for that. I have been working on three Let's Plays on the channel right now: the Decades Challenge, Rags to Riches, and the Super Sim Challenge. Those are going to continue, but I have been completely consumed with my Not So Berry Legacy family. As you can see on the screen here, I'm playing with the purple gen Iris Simsberry. So I'll go into that more in a moment here, but I wanted to let you guys know, if you've been around for a little bit, you can see there has been a change to the channel. I'm no longer OMG It's Lumi. That has been my content creator tag for about a year now. But you know, I was using that tag more so on Twitch when I was streaming, and I no longer stream. So now I just on YouTube and doing content creation, storylines, and legacy Let's Play. Was it like picture, like Simstagram type thing? And I'm soon gonna have it up on Tumblr as well. The different households that I play in. So I figured with those changes, it was time for a channel name change, and I wanted to incorporate more of like my real life into my name. So Ryn is part of my real life first name, and I don't know. I was sitting around one day and I was just like, oh, the audacity, and it just kind of flowed. Rynacity. So that's what we are now. Good old Rynacity. So you guys, it's me, Ryn. My tags name everywhere on Twitter, on Instagram, here on YouTube is Rynacity, but I go by Ryn with two N's. So there we go. But anyways, enough of that. Enough of the house cleaning stuff. What I want to try out is a current household update. I have seen these in the past on different channels, and I've enjoyed them. It's a really nice way to kind of keep up on what your YouTuber or streamer or whatever is doing with their off-camera gameplay. It's very concise. Like, you know, you don't have to watch 10 episodes of a Let's Play to know what's going on. Also, it was cool because on Instagram, if you guys follow Simsberry, there's always really good stories, but they're uploaded at like a picture at a time, right? Or like a group of pictures at a time. And it's really easy to like be lost. And so I think it's Cherry Sims. She has a story going on that's really good. And I love the fact that she did like this generational kind of summaries in her, what are those things called? The little stories. No, what are they called? In her highlights story, her story highlights. So I was able to go through each generation and get like an update of, you know, like the major points that happen in that generation, the major points and events, so that now when she uploads her pictures, I'm current, right? So same thing that I took some like that idea and the idea of current household updates, and here we are. So, for those of you who don't know, the Not So Berry Challenge was created by Little Simsy and Always Simming. It's a generational Let's Play with Legacy Family that spans, I think it's 12 generations. No, it's 10 generations. And each generation is themed around a color. What I like about this challenge is that it lets you like go deeper into some of like the skills and aspirations that you might not otherwise have experienced in just like your regular day-to-day gameplay. Each generation has a set of skills that you have to max out, a career and an aspiration. There's certain traits that you have to assign to your Sims as well, and it just expands on your gameplay. So I've been playing this challenge. I started it actually on stream last year. It was my first Let's Play that I did on stream, and we got through Mint and Rose, and I'll insert some pictures here of our Mint generation and Rose generation, and then I stopped streaming, and I kind of played the yellow generation on my own, but I just didn't have the same feel for it. And I put the whole household down for like a year. And then just recently, I picked it back up again like a month ago with Yellow Gin, with Sunny and a Yellow Gin, which I'll insert some pictures here for that too. And I was just consumed with Sunny and her story and her family, and then just going on to the next gen, which was Graham. His family, he was, his thing for the Gray generation is very family oriented. Like he has to match or max out parenthood. And so he had a huge family. He actually had, it wasn't a combined family. He had a poly family. So his story, I'll go to that in a second, where because he had his first wife, and then he had a second wife, and then he ended up having them both at the end because it was just some stuff that was going on. But another thing for Grey Gin is that he had to have 3 failed relationships. So his first wife was one of those failed relationships, which resulted in our Purple Gin heir here on the screen, Iris. So Iris is, like I said, the Purple Gin heir, and her thing is she has the genius, non-committal, and dance machine traits. She has a Renaissance sim aspiration, and she has to have 3 careers: fast food, doctor, and entertainer, in that order. And the description says, "You've always been good at anything you tried. It's hard to choose a career, so why not try a few? You work as a doctor for much of your life, but as an adult, realize that your true dream is to become a professional dancer. You quit your job and join the entertainment career. Basically, you're an indecisive oddball." So that's what we have to look forward to for Iris. She has to master the dance skill and 2 other skills of her choosing, complete the Renaissance sim aspiration, get divorced, and then later remarry the same sim. And she must live in at least 3 different worlds over the course of her life. So that's where we are with Iris. She aged up about a week ago in sim time. And generally, I mean, with my previous generations, I just moved them out and got them started on their careers. But with Iris, since she has to be a doctor, instead of taking that time to grind through the lower levels of that career, I figured, she can go to university, spend that time getting her degree, and then automatically go into a higher level of the doctor career, since she has to leave the career as an adult to go on to entertainment. So right now, she just finished her first week of university, her first term of university. This is one of her roommates, Nani, and then her other roommate, Star. I don't really control Nani or Star. They kind of do their own thing. They are just there for, aesthetic purposes. But yeah, Iris grew up. I mean, she had a huge family. She had her 2 moms, her dad, and then 4 other brothers and sisters. And her dad is a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer, a soccer player. So, I mean, he's really well known. And so is Iris. But anyways, she came to school. She went to Foxbury, but she lives off campus in San Myshuno with some roommates in this lovely build. When I say lovely, I'm not exaggerating. Let me show you guys. Look at this. Isn't this just ridiculously gorgeous? I can't. So I recently discovered a builder, Sarah Amina, Sarah with an H, and she does really cool builds. And this is one of hers. This is the San Myshuno apartment, and pretty much it's a cafe. This middle apartment here is like a family. Oh, I forgot that doesn't work. Is a family home or family apartment. I think in her speed build, she had it as like a single mom apartment. And then where her and her roommates live are right here in this apartment. So it's a 3-bedroom, I think 1 bathroom. And so, yeah, here are like their little miniature dorm rooms up here with some laundry and a study area, the kitchen, living room, and the bathroom. And then like the common area, I guess, like the mailboxes and stuff. And then next door, like I said, there's the family apartment and then the cafe. So anyways, Iris is just talking to her sister. She can take her clean up. Oh, I thought she was drinking it. Oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. So like I said, she just finished her first term at university, and she did really well. She got all A+. I think her genius trait and her hard study habits help with that. But anyways, before I go more into her story, let me catch you guys up on the household itself, or the family itself. So the legacy started out with the mint gin, which was my sim self, Lumi, my previous name. We started out with Lumi Simsberry, and that was the mint gin. Lumi in turn had Callie, who was our rose gin heir. Callie had Sunny, who was our yellow gin heir. Sunny had Graham, which was our gray gin heir, and is Iris's father. So that's pretty much what I'm going to pick up for Graham, because that's the family, that's his family, and Iris is who I'm still like currently playing. So like I had said earlier, Graham's story is a little bit complicated. So Tanya, his first wife, was actually his babysitter, and then when he was in high school, she had gone off to college, but she came back to visit one weekend and was, his neighbor. And ever since then, he just had a huge crush on her. They hung out a little bit, but of course, she was a college girl and he was a high school boy, so she was not going for that at all. But then once he graduated and started playing college ball, he was a freshman when she was a senior, so she was leaving college and going off to her life, and he was just coming in to college and starting like his sports career and whatnot. And they dated a little bit in high school. They dated a little bit in college, and he just fell for her hard, like hard. And then, one thing led to another, and she got pregnant with Iris. And by then he had been drafted to his first sports team, and had this big, huge signing bonus and bought this big, beautiful house. And they were going to do the family thing, right? So they moved in. She had Iris. They, were a big, happy family. But then he met Miko. While he was out. He was out at a away game in San Myshuno, and Miko, his heart just lit up, and just it just something sparked between them. And of course, Tanya was not happy about that at all. She felt totally betrayed. And when he said, that he wanted to be with Miko as well, she was not going for that, and she left. She took Iris and went and rented a little apartment, and she went on with her life in the entertainment career and raised her daughter, and that was that. Her and Graham shared custody, and Iris would come and visit with him on the weekends and whatnot, and then he moved on with his life. Him and Miko got married, and they had their first child, Amy, and they went on to have 3 more children, and everything was great. His Graham's career picked up. He was gaining fame and more money, and his kids were growing up well, and he was a real hands-on parent, even though he was away a lot for work. When he was home, and he was always playing with them and having, they were going on trips and swimming and playing out at the park and basketball. He was very active. His mother was very active, which in turn led him to be very active, and so his kids were very active as well. And everything was great. And then for Iris's 7th birthday, he went over, he was invited over to her birthday party, and it was just him and Tanya and Iris, and they had dinner and cake, and everything was great. And he just missed being with Tanya and having Iris with him all the time, especially since he spent so much time with his other 3 kids. He really felt like Iris was being robbed of that same experience by only coming around on the weekends. And he missed Tanya. He still loved Tanya, and was just sad that it couldn't work out the way that they both had planned. And they had a real heart-to-heart. And so after that, he started going over and spending more time with Iris at her house and more time with Tanya. And one thing led to another, and him and Tanya just they rekindled. Tanya was older than him, of course, but she had also had more, she had some experience during the 7 years that they were apart. And she realized that she still loved him as well, and that she was willing to see the relationship that he wanted through his eyes. So now the tables had kind of turned, because now it was Miko who wasn't happy with Tanya's return, and her family life being disrupted and whatnot. But all 3 adults sat down, they talked about it, and that it was the best thing for the kids to be raised with their older sibling. And that they would work it out as, three loving adults. And so, after that, Tanya and Iris moved back into the main household, and they lived as one big poly family. And Tanya got pregnant again, and so it just worked out that Graham's first child and his last child were both by Tanya, and then the ones in the middle were by Miko. So that was Iris's home life. It was a little unconventional, but she loved it. She got to see her dad all the time. She got to see her mom happy again, and she got to spend all the time with her siblings. And her and Amy are like best friends. They are super duper close. And actually, Amy has aged into an adult now too, because they're also kind of close in age. They're only a few years apart, or like a year and a half apart. So she will be coming to university as well as a freshman, and will be moving into the household with Iris. So that was Gray Gen. And one of the traditions that I started with Yellow Gen was when the next heir aged up, they own a family beach house in Sulani, because Iris's grandfather, Tane, is from the islands. And so he was always taking Graham and the family back to Sulani every summer. And so they finally bought a summer home. So the summer home stays in the family. And that's how we transition to the next generation. So Iris they took their traditional trip to Sulani, and Iris had her big birthday party. All her friends, her family were there, and they spent a few days at the beach house, and she aged up into an adult and then went off to college. So that'll be the same tradition when Iris's kids, the Orange Gen, ages up. We'll have the party, and they'll go off to their life as well. So that was Gray Gen, and now here we are with Iris. And like I said, she just finished her first semester. She's at Foxberry, which is another different thing. I never play with Foxberry. I always send my Sims to Brightchester, so this is different. But the degree she needed in biology, she got a distinguished degree offer at Foxberry. So here we are, and she's doing really well. A plus. So I'm hoping that this plus, I got her the oh no, I didn't get her that one. I got her Savant, where she earns her skills faster. But I wasn't sure if the connections, the trait that gets you like a jump in your career, if that would jump her even higher, because I think she'll start at level 6 with a college degree. Maybe higher if she gets honors, and maybe higher if she gets connections, but at least level 6, right? So anyways, another thing she needs to do is max out some skills and finish some of her goals. So I have been working on her Renaissance Sim aspiration. We're on the last tier, so she has to reach level 8 and 6 skills. And right now, that's probably something she's going to be working on until she's into her elder. The first one is going to be fitness, but then it's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, she's a ways away, but she needs to max out research and debate and painting as the 2 skills that I chose for her, and then the other ones to finish the aspiration. So that's what she's working on. She's really studious. I have the system with my Sims when they go to university that I enroll them on Fridays, so that they have the whole weekend to do all of their term papers, all of their presentations, and get all of their homework done, so that the rest of the week is smooth sailing and they can party and have lives while in university. And I also have the more events mod, so they have university parties, keggers, just hangouts, study sessions. My Sims are really active. Thank goodness for mods. But I digress. So that's what we're doing with her. Like I said, now that she started her new term, her sister is going to be moving in with her, so we'll go ahead and invite Amy to the lot so I can add her to the household. One of the other things with this generation, like I said, she has to divorce and remarry the same Sim, and she is taking after her father with falling in love with older Sims. She, on the first day of class, she went to she went to her classes, and she came back with all these relationships. And I have installed Wonderful Whims, which is the modified version of Wicked Whims. It pretty much has all the other systems, but it leaves out all the adult stuff. And one of those systems is the attractiveness system. And so while she was away, I was reading the notes on who she met, and she was extremely attracted to her professor, her anatomy professor, Christopher Middleton. who will be getting a makeover. But if you see here, it says at the bottom, Iris Simsberry Nagata thinks Christopher Milton is extremely attractive. So the other night she went to the Commons and to do some research, and he was there, and they struck up some conversation and did a little flirting, and now that is her romantic interest. So it's looking like that may be our Sim that she's going to marry and divorce, and I can definitely see why she would divorce. He's a professor, she's a student. I'm sure there's going to be some growing apart happening that's going to cause their divorce, and then they will reconnect later on in life. So yes, but he will be getting an orange gin makeover by the next current update. So Amy finally showed up, and I didn't realize that the Spice Festival was going on. So the girls are just out here hanging out, enjoying a late Friday night. I did go ahead and move Nani out, although she hasn't actually left a lot yet. So we just, invited her over to try out some of the bubble machine, aka hookah. So now it is her, Star, and Amy. I enrolled Amy. She is going for, I forgot already, physics, economics. What is she going for? Physics. She's going for a physics degree, and I'm not going to finish Amy's college. I'm just gonna, once Iris graduates, then that's it. We're done with university, and Amy can just finish off her last term on her own. But anyways, I thought it was fitting because I was actually torn between who was going to be the plum gin heir. Girl, go to the bathroom. I was torn if it was going to be Amy or Iris, since Iris was a weekender kid and I was playing more with Amy at the beginning. But at the end, I'm just a stickler for, first child being the heir, boy or girl. So it ended up being Iris. And once she moved in, the more I played with Iris, the more I was attached to her. But I still love Amy. I love her personality. She's quirky. She's really cute, her little kawaii style. So I figured it was perfect to have the girls go to university together. So yeah, so that's the update on the current household that I am playing. I'm actually just gonna probably pause her there while she goes to the restroom and wrap it up. But this is my first time doing this style of gameplay as far as current household. So you guys let me know how I did. If you are, I know it's probably going to be super choppy and super awkward because, like I said, I haven't done this before. Hopefully the next one will be better. And yeah, the next one I'm not quite sure if we're going to be, I don't know where we will be, hence an update. So anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, please let me know by leaving a like and a comment on the video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications so that you are up on when new videos go up on the channel. And don't worry, like I said, I will have more episodes of the other Let's Plays up here soon. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. And until next time.